We made it, Jennifer. I was out here on these streets trying to set up my system real quick, and we just went live real quick. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mrs. Pie. I'm really excited that Jenifer Jay is with me tonight. We're going to talk about her company and everything around business automation. But Jenifer, you're my last show for 2023, and I'm so glad to be shutting this year down with you. How you doing?
I am doing absolutely fabulous and save the best for last. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you, Jenifer. We're going to have fun, y'all. So I want to do a quick shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Parade Deck Live TV. I see y'all. Parade Deck Live. Actually, Parade Deck TV has a community of about 6.3 million or so folks. So, hey, everybody watching the Mrs. Pie channel. Hello, y'all. And again, those of y'all who are going to catch this via the replay, I do want to make sure that I will drop the link to Jenifer's company because I really want you to connect with her. She's an amazing entrepreneur, and she's on here because I say so. She's on here because she's amazing. But she's our special guest. She's the CEO of Premier Biz System. She's an expert in the field of business automation. I know I shared some of this when I was showing some of the previews for what's coming, but today we're going to talk about not just business automation and how it can help you transform your business, but especially for business owners who are just sick and tired of being stuck trying to figure out how you bring in more leads or how do you making sales on autopilot. This is a person that you want to talk to. So as an entrepreneur, Jenifer, how did you get started? Like, how did you get motivated to get focused on business automation of all things?
Right. It's a funny story. So I started as an entrepreneur when I was 14. My family had a construction company, and my dad had me writing out payroll checks at that time. And he strategically walked me through each part of running that business on paper. Now, this is before computers. There were no computers. All right. It was notebooks, paper, and pen and pencil, and that's it. But once computers came, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to see that. I need to see how it works. And I started digitizing our processes. Wow. So once we went on from there, people were coming to me, asking me to help them start their business and do all these things. And so I'm like, listen, I should just be getting paid for this. So I started as an assistant because that's what I thought I should do. But it was really one of my first clients who was a marketing and branding agency who said, you are good at systems. You should brand yourself as systems. And it started there. It started there with that client, and she would pay me extra on top of what she was paying me to set up the client's back end, right? Because when people get websites and things like that, they don't have a back end. And so she started me there, and I just went on from there to try to learn how to market myself and get the word out that this is what I do. And it wasn't easy.
Oh no, yeah, and that's the other thing. So a lot of times I have people on the show, I try to say upfront, y'all, these individuals that I'm interviewing, these are exclusive interviews with folks who are successful in their areas. So please know that it is a journey and it is a process. You can't be Jenifer just, starting this out tomorrow. So I wanted to find out about when you talk about the businesses that you support, and we're coming, listen, it's the end of the year, but there's a lot of people who are going to be interested, and maybe they're thinking about starting a new business in the new year, or they're trying to figure out how to close out the rest of this year. What kind of businesses do you work on, and what are some of the needs that you're meeting?
Yeah, so the businesses that I am specifically targeting are home healthcare agencies, because they have the same problem I had when I was working in my dad's business, right? They don't know that there's something better. They don't know that there's a problem with caregivers who are busy like me. I'm a caregiver of my mom who's 94. and I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
So my schedule runs off of my calendar. And so what would happen is they would call the night before, like right now, I would get a call trying to schedule for tomorrow. And it's like, are you serious? My first of all, I'm automated. My schedule is full tomorrow. And, and so it's like, if you guys would just automate that, allow people to be able to schedule on a calendar when it's convenient for them within the time frame you need them to schedule, it would make everybody's life so much easier. And then let's not even go there with the paperwork.
Yeah.
Most of the paperwork needs to take a digital transformation. So that's the word, digital transformation. And so that really, really speaks to most of the business owners. So, of course, I don't just get healthcare, right? So,
Yeah.
I have worked with large corporations, major influencers. I have event centers, financial services, coaches, consultants. I'm trying to think, nonprofits, just a mixture of everything. So when people tell you to niche down, it doesn't really matter, because if you're speaking to your audience, they understand. So most of my audience are solopreneurs. They're doing it themselves. They are stressed out, working all night, because most of this stuff should be automated. So that's pretty much the makeup. I know I'm forgetting some in there.
Oh no, that's a good coverage, right? Because if y'all are out there and you're trying to, if you're thinking about starting a business, part of it, the paperwork is crazy, and if you don't understand how to be organized, because I was thinking about this even before you came on. A lot of the people who will also benefit. There's a lot of folks who worked in the corporate space, and they weren't doing the kind of jobs that they are, they're shifting into as an entrepreneur or so, whatever it is you're doing, right? And so there is a skills gap from what you're doing. So we have folks who maybe they were analysts before and now they're trying to run a company, and you just don't have the skills required to help you manage the business, the day-to-day operation. And so Jenifer is that kind of talent that can help you automate all of those things that you don't have, you just don't have the skills to manage, and so she's able to help you deal with that. So I wonder if you could share like some of the case studies or some of the experiences that you had. Was there do you have like a best case, a best client that you can share, like a solution that you provided?
Yeah, so to be honest with you, all of them have the same problem, same issue. And so I'll talk about one of my influencer clients. Yes. So this client had automations, but they were everywhere and they didn't support the business's goals. So that's the first thing that I ask. What are your goals? I evaluate the current state of the business, and then I make recommendations based on where you say you're trying to go, but where I know you're going to eventually end up, right? And so this client was just running manually. There were systems, but they were disconnected. Some weren't talking to each other. Processes weren't correct. Customer service wasn't automated. And so I worked with this client over 5 years. We totally automated the business. But what I saw was now someone who's not working all day, now someone who's taking vacation with their family, now someone who's now adding to their family and starting to do other things, right? So now you're out there marketing and you're bringing traffic to the business and you're doing conferences or speeches or whatever you want to do, and you're able to drum up business and focus on other things that you may want to do that brings that business in. So within that particular situation, that's what I experienced. And I'm like, wow. Someone told me, you create the life that people want. And I never thought about it that way because I'm just,
Wow.
yeah, I'm just like, yeah, it's just systems. I just love it. And they're like, no, because without you doing that, now we can't just go off and do things and not worry about it. Money is still coming in. People are still booking appointments. They're still buying products that they need to buy. They don't need you behind the email like, oh my goodness, I gotta send this person to log in, or I gotta manually onboard them or do all these things.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much every business that I touch. They have either three problems. They have no systems, they have too many systems that are disconnected, or they have systems but they have no idea what they do, what their capability is, or how to even structure them to support the business and the business's goals.
And so this is another one of those, when you don't know, is to, really honestly, y'all hire the people who do know, because there are just things that you're not going to think about. Again, a lot of times, entrepreneurs, we're really excited about the solution or the problem we're trying to solve, but it's much more than that. You're actually running a business. And again, to your point, whether you're doing this by yourself, if you have a team of 1 or 20, you still need to have, some kind of structure around, how you manage your operation. That's just it. So I wanted to find out, when you're thinking about, the success of the solutions that you're providing, is there something that you measure when you're thinking about how your client, like for example, that influencer is one example, but what about other businesses that you've worked with that, just to help them understand, like, okay, this is kind of what I can benefit from working with Jenifer?
Yeah, so when they initially have a call with me, there's a questionnaire that they answer, which is really my KPIs if they become a client. And so what one of those things is revenue goals. What are your revenue goals? What do you currently make versus what do you want to make? Then also, what do you think the problem is? Usually the problem is they don't have enough leads coming in, right? So that's one of the main things that we measure, like how many visits are you getting to your page? How many conversions are you getting from those visits? And then we back out, well, what is the activity that you were doing? So my customers get a scorecard that they can use, but also I go in and look at where they are, what that conversion rate is based off of, okay, I didn't know any of the information. Usually, I don't know how many people visited my website. I don't know what the conversion rate is. I don't know. But now they do know, and now they know I can make an informed decision off of that. So if I look at that, I look at also how much time I'm giving you back. So when people ask me what I do, I say I help busy business owners gain back a minimum of 20 hours per week while still onboarding clients and accepting payments. That is one of the most important measurements of an entrepreneur's time, right? So I measure the time, like how much time did this take off of you? So I'll give you an example of one of my clients who was manually doing things. They were going live manually, telling people to text them, and they would then take the text to their personal phone now, take the text, and then they would just send them the Zoom link. Now they're sending all these people.
Oh no.
Right? So now that person is automated, that's just non-existent. It's go live, text me, DM me this word, and it enrolls them in that webinar now. So now you're focused on the live and not, oh my goodness, after the live, I have to spend this time sending these people this link.
Right.
So that's just one piece of an example of saving time.
Wow. Time is money, y'all. Time is for real. Time is money. From your perspective, what are some of the emerging trends you think are coming, in the next couple years or so?
Come on, it's AI. It's AI. It's just everywhere. And it definitely makes things easier from every standpoint. And I'm not just talking about going into Chat GPT and creating email copy or having it brainstorm content. I'm saying on the level of so my webinar was on chatbots, right? Because that's what I have set up and that's what I sell is the chatbot CRM system. Because what it does is this chatbot will answer questions for people and book appointments on Instagram, on text message, on Google My Business, Facebook Messenger. And so what happens is now I don't have to constantly look at my DMs to see if I'm missing someone's communication. Right. That's huge, right? And so that's number one. Number two is someone text, that chatbot is going to pick up that conversation and ask them what I told it to ask them. What system situation can we help you with today? And so they'll respond and it'll respond. AI. And not to mention just the AI transcription now that you have, the AI responses that you have on emails. I made a mistake and used AI.
And now you can't look back.
Right. I had all this stuff installed and I accidentally hit this button of one of the AI things I had installed. It responded to the email appropriately too. It's like it read the email and responded appropriately. I was like, oh, okay, this is another level. So that is just going to be emerging. I just want to see how far it's going to go. That's what's interesting. How far is it going to go? Because we already have where we could use chatbots. We could use the chatbot as a voice to answer calls, right? So we already have that, and unfortunately, it does replace an employee. But for a solopreneur, you need that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need it. Otherwise, you would be burnt out in the corner somewhere.
Absolutely. So what do you have on your mind for 2024?
Yeah, so 2024, I'm releasing a new program that I have been fighting. And so that program is just helping people set up systems using a system called Go High Level. And so it's a systems boot camp, hands-on, step by step. It's not theory or any of those things. No, we work. Anything that's involving me, we're working. So I don't do the theory, the motivation, all of that stuff. No, we're doing systems. We're putting this stuff together and we're working. So you can't be in the car. You can't be driving around. You can't be in the grocery store. You got to be at home, at your computer, ready to go. Right. Because you need to be doing what I'm doing so you can get this help. And so one component of that is the live part of it, right? Okay. Helping people live. Yes, it would be in a group, but helping them live with their actual system set up. So that's definitely something I'm excited about, that I'm launching in 2024 that I think will be huge and is going to help people. Yeah. That's the main thing. My goal is just being able to help. And a lot of times you can't help people at a level that's going to also allow you to feed your family. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So this is a product that will actually help.
Both win-win for everybody. Yeah, yes. I dropped a link to Premier Biz System in the chat. And again, this is one of those. Again, I have people on who know what they're doing and highly recommending that you get in touch with Jenifer. Don't try to figure this thing out yourself. Just contact her. You can, schedule some time and find out what it is that you need for your business. Whether you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're thinking about starting a business, maybe next year is going to be the year that you shift into business. I also recommend this for folks, even if you have your awesome 9 to 5. I'm a multi-stream believer. So, so, if you're thinking about, maybe starting something, get in touch with Jenifer and find out what are the things that you need to have in place to support that idea before you do it. Sign up for the webinars. Like she says, you gotta put some skin in the game, right? You gotta put some skin in the game. So invest in yourself and working with Jenifer Jay. I am so grateful that you gave me this time. I realized this before the holidays, so I'm so grateful that I was able to lock you in before 2024, because this is going to help somebody for real. Yeah. I want to make sure, is there anything else you wanted to say before we tell the people have a good night?
No, just listen. We all make mistakes. We all have trials and tribulations. It is not easy. If somebody tell you it's easy, they are not telling you the truth. We all go through the same thing. But one thing that successful entrepreneurs and business owners have is they keep going. So you embrace the solution and not the problem.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Jenifer Jay. We're going to hang out in the back for our after party that nobody else is invited to while we tell everybody. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Good night, Parade Deck family. Good night, everybody on the replay streets. And thank you so much for watching, y'all. Have a good night.